Welcome to I Hate James Dobson, a podcast that has me reading embarrassing books in public.
I mean, listen, I read all of True Blood on the train at one point in my life.
Interesting.
So I've been there.
The train's the main place that I read in public.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm sitting down for 30 minutes. Guess I'll get through this.
I love the idea of seeing you. But you're like, I mean, you're pretty you're visible.
Representation matters.
And then looking down to be like, oh, what's that person reading? Oh my God. Okay.
I try to read it with a scowl on my face, but I also wear a mask on public transportation, so it's just the eyebrows doing a lot of work. Thankfully, I inherited Brad's resting bitch face.
Amazing.
Welcome to I Hate James Dobson. My name is Jake. I'm a former evangelical turned queer sex therapist. I want to reintroduce my friend, a lover of books. She's back from vacation, my co-host, the incredible Brooke.
Amazing.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, I really like it when you have been doing all this wordplay.
Thank you. I have very quickly run out of different poem types that I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been learning a lot about different poetry structures.
Well, have you done a limerick?
I think that was the first one I did.
Okay.
I've done couplet, limerick, haiku, acrostic, and now I'm like, well, that is just poetry. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't really realize we were doing all that. Okay. Great job.
I might just go back to the ones that I've done before and write different poems, but you're worth writing poetry for.
Wow. That's like the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Also, you know me well enough to know that if somebody wrote me poetry, I would die.
Uh-huh. We don't need to note how many times I rhyme Brooke with book. Don't worry about it.
I know. Luckily, Brooke has lots of rhymes.
It sure does.
Yeah. One time my nephew wrote a poem about me, though, and that was really cute. So
that's very sweet.
I allow some things. Yeah.
Brooke, how are you?
I'm great. I will have just gotten back from another vacation.
This comes out August 3rd.
Oh, right. Uh-huh. Yes. So, boy, I sure did have fun in Denver, Colorado.
Is that correct? Denver, Colorado. That's really cool. That's close to Focus on the Family.
Oh, yeah. It was great. I had so much fun.
Will that be your last vacation for the season?
Kind of. Yes. Undetermined. I'm supposed to go camping and do my annual camping trip.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I have been just like dealing with some chronic stuff and other stuff and stuff. And I don't know. It doesn't sound great. Camping doesn't sound real great anymore right now.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be camping and not feeling well. Also, I got real scared of a big spider last year, and I'm pretty sure that spider's waiting for me in the woods. And if spiders don't live that long, I'm sure it's
even bigger now. It's actually able to eat you.
Yeah. See, now I'm definitely not going. And I think that if the spider's not alive, the family of the spider is there waiting for me
to avenge them.
Yeah, and I just don't want to deal with all that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, long answer short, yes. Until we get into the fall, where it will be my birthday.
Hell yeah.
Which is always so fun. And then a trip to Detroit to eat gyros.
Your vibe real changed.
Listen, you guys, I don't want any more fucking gyros. It's not like Year of the Hot Dog. No offense, gyros.
It has become a punishment, not a celebration.
Oh my God. Hot dogs are hot dogs. Like, you can eat them all the time because they're hot dogs. You can go to a park. There's a hot dog. It's fine. By the end, I was a little bit like, oh, okay, I've had enough hot dogs. But whatever.
I do hope you know that hot dog will ever be associated with your brand now. I have readers who will reach out every time they see hot dog stuff. My family will now send me hot dog stuff and say, send this to Brooke. Guess
what I have on my phone from this morning? A picture of me in a cutout of a hot dog that I found at the library. I'll send it to you and you can put it on the Patreon, okay?
Incredible. Absolutely.
Long story short, again, hot dogs, great. Eat them all year round. Gyros, good.
Sometimes food.
I'm not saying they're not good.
Sure.
They're good. It's like, I don't really ever crave a gyro. So I had one and I was like, neat. Euro. And then by the time I had the second one, I was like, oh my God, okay. I'm good. And now, like, we were on my trip to Michigan, we were going to go get Euros. And then we were like, what if we didn't get the Euros? Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, Euros. It's a no for me, dog. But we did pick out the 2027 food.
Incredible.
And you all can guess. I will not confirm or deny any of your guesses. But I will tell you this. It is not a meat.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
I feel like there's just been a lot of meat the past couple of years. Probably need a break from it.
That's right, Jake.
Unlike Angie Tolbert, who cannot get enough of Kevin's meat.
Wait, you have to banter a little because I'm not ready yet. Say some stuff.
We have picked out a caterer for the wedding.
You did?
We have a photographer booked down. We have a venue locked down. Oh, I didn't tell you I bought my first piece of clothing. I bought my full outfit.
What? That's different than a piece of clothing.
I sent you a picture of it a long time ago, but I finally went through with it.
Send it to me again. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's green with gold lining and gold.
Can you text it to me? Because
appliques.
I am probably going to want to match some stuff to it.
Sure. I will send you pictures when I actually get it, because I'm pretty sure this picture is AI generated. Because everything on Etsy is that now.
Oh my God, I love it.
It has a cape. I wanted something with drama, and I said cape as kind of a stand-in, but it does have a cape, and I'm...
You still probably have time that you could rent Madison Square Garden and invite 1,000 people. And we could get some NDAs drawn up real quick.
Shut down the entire city block, inconvenience everybody.
Yeah. Get a security tent for cars. Yeah. All right. Well, great. Banter over.
Yay, wedding. We also have a Patreon. Check it out at patreon.com/IHateJamesDobson. You can check our live stream out in between these episodes. You might also get some content early or bonus content. It's great. Or don't, and we love you anyway.
We have a Patreon?
We have a website?
Did you know that moths keep flying into the window and dying?
No, I did not.
Well, it's been happening a lot. It was happening a lot to me upstairs, too.
Interesting.
Big ass bugs were just like dive bombing into the window and then falling down. I was like, what is happening? Look at how many moths have had a, what was it called? Assisted suicide.
They've transitioned.
The penopause, what was it called? Perimenopause?
Potassipass?
They've all had a potassipass.
Speaking of, last time we talked about James Dobson's 2013 paranoid fantasy novel, Fatherless. Set in 2042, where there's an overpopulation of old people and not enough young people, we followed feminist icon Julia Davidson as she left feminist icon status, learning the value of marriage and the family. We also followed Kevin Tolbert, a Republican congressman from Colorado, leading the charge to end the government-sponsored assisted suicide program called transitioning. No, not the trans kind. And then we followed Matthew Adams, an angsty incel who killed his mom. It was a terrible paranoid sermon dressed in a novel, and I hated every minute of it. Today, Brooke, I have terrible news.
What?
Fatherless isn't James Dobson only novel.
I knew it.
Today we're going to be talking about his second novel.
I want to guess the title.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's not Motherless.
No, but good instincts.
And I'm sure it's not Bullied at the Circle Jerk.
No, that's my autobiography.
Can I ask a couple little questions?
Yeah.
Is it in this same world with the same people?
It is a sequel.
It is a sequel.
It is a sequel. It came out also in 2013. It came out the same year.
Stop it. No, it didn't.
And I didn't reveal this first episode. He wrote a trilogy. This is the second of 3.
Shut your face.
Today, we're going to be talking about Childless.
What are you talking about? So stupid. Wait, what is the third one? It has to be Motherless.
Godless.
Of course. Of course. Is that the same cover but in a different color?
No, the house is slightly falling apart.
Oh
and it's yellow.
So, yes. Do you have Godless with you?
I do not.
Is Godless red?
It is red!
And the house is totally falling apart?
Yep. You might hear, readers, if you do my ASMR correctly, there's a plastic recovery. This was a library book. And when I said last episode, I don't think that these sold well, it's no longer a library book.
Oh, interesting.
No one's heard of these. They didn't do well. I think Godless is also a library book. I think people just got them and then were like, no one's reading these, and then threw them out. And then I got them for $2 on eBay.
This is incredible. All right, you and the readers enjoy this. I'm going, wait, I'm so sorry. It's just that there are so many dead moths. Like, you're only seeing 2, but, like, many have come and gone.
Many have given their lives. Many have transitioned.
It's like an episode of The Birds. It's like the movie The Birds. Okay, sorry, go on. I can't believe we're about to do a whole second episode about this.
If you haven't listened to our last episode on Fatherless, you should probably check that out because it is a sequel and a lot of the same characters and threads are picked up on. This book takes place roughly 1 year after the events of the last book.
Okay, I'm so sorry. But since Fatherless theme song is...
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
I just want you to know that Childless's theme song needs to be All That She Wants Is Another Baby by Ace of Base.
This book takes place roughly a year after the events of the last book.
Okay.
It opens with a new character, Rebecca Santiago. She doesn't matter. She's a woman. She's the wife of Judge Victor Santiago.
Okay. Oh my God, the board is back.
The board is back. I cannot tell you how excited I am for the board.
We'll put Rebecca up there.
She doesn't matter.
Oh, right. She's a woman. I forgot. Okay.
And that is me being a little bit silly, but also like genuinely. In the first scene, Rebecca Santiago is opening mail and finds a threatening note. Book 1 opened with the transition of a boy named Antonio Santos, as well as the accidental death of his mother, trying to stop it. His surviving older brother sued the company for the wrongful deaths. That is theoretically what kicked the story into motion. You should know that Judge Santiago is ruling on the case of Antonio's wrongful death lawsuit.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Quote, Dear Victor, please forgive my sending this note to your wife, Rebecca. Prior attempts to correspond through your assistant have proven unfruitful. I have yet to receive a single response to any of my previous letters regarding the wrongful death appeal involving Next Transition Services. As you know, many lives hang in the balance in this manner. That's why I was pleased the case fell to a man with the kind of wisdom and restraint you have demonstrated throughout your distinguished judicial career. But this case is far too important for any hint of ambiguity. That is why I must know where you stand before the scheduled ruling deadline of September 4th. Please consider Rebecca's future as you contemplate the 2 following alternatives. 1. Assure me that you intend to decide in favor of Next. 2. Bid your sweet wife farewell, since you will die before issuing an opinion.
What?
Once again, I apologize for alarming Rebecca, but she deserves to know about the increasingly tense situation in which we find ourselves. I will not allow any of what might transpire to be a surprise, and I trust that her intervention will motivate you to do what's right for everyone. As always, a Manichaean.
Oh. Wait, who was in the Manichaean? Matthew.
This book is set up as a mystery, except we clearly know who done it already.
Yeah, Matthew.
Probably. Yes, book. Yep.
Yes, Brooke.
Yes, Brooke. Yes, Brooke. This is Dobson's attempt to write a Christian noir mystery novel. And you've guessed it, he's bad at it.
Oh my God.
It's also why I chose the red string. It's thematic.
Oh my God. Is every book a different genre?
No. Also, this isn't really a mystery.
The judge wrote Victor a letter?
No, so the judge is Victor.
Thank you.
And he's been getting threatening letters about from somebody who just happens to be called a Manichaean, which is a whole philosophy of Matthew Adams, as discussed ad nauseum last episode.
Got it. Okay.
That's the prologue. Cut to 3 weeks earlier.
Okay.
While we follow many of the same characters last time, this book has a new main character, Tyler Kane.
Tyler.
Which also means, yes, 2 of the 4 main characters are Tyler and Kevin.
Tyler and Kevin. Oh my God.
Makes me very upset. He introduces himself as Kane, Tyler Kane. What a dick.
Kane. Tyler Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler is in down on his luck former cop turned private investigator.
Named Tyler.
He quit the force when his partner, Greg, was promoted to assistant chief of police, and Tyler is passed over for promotion.
Oh. I'm sorry, but it's kind of hard to take an adult man named Tyler that seriously.
For whatever reason, Greg is the one that took me out.
It's like in the
Shut up, Greg.
It's like in all the fairy smut books. It's like glurb glob and glee, and then it's always like and John.
Tyler is 41 and described as boyishly cute. He's been dating a girl named Renee for the last 3 years. Also not a real character, also not on the board.
Woman.
Quote, this relationship, like his prior 3, should have ended after a sensible 9 or 10 months when infatuation wanes and daily habits annoy. Both happened with Renee after 15 months. About the same time he found himself short on capital and scrambling for clients. Renee signed loans for him, so now Tyler feels obligated to stick around until the loans are paid off. Renee's parents are also moving in with Tyler and Renee as they're getting old and can't take care of themselves anymore.
Uh-oh.
Much to Tyler's chagrin.
Uh-oh. They're going to get a perimenopause.
They're going to get forcibly transed. As a PI, Tyler has developed a pattern for getting clients, and this is direct quotes from the book. Step 1. Follow home whatever man or woman left one of the sordid establishments. He sits outside brothels. 2. Trace his or her address to identify a potential partner. 3. Leave an anonymous note to plant a seed of suspicion and recommend a trustworthy investigator named Tyler Kane. 4. Wait for the phone to ring.
Oh, God.
He finds this life dull and frustrating, but it pays the bills enough. That is until he gets a call from his former police partner, Greg Smith.
Greg Smith.
Greg asks Tyler to investigate mysterious and threatening letters received by Judge Santiago's assistant.
Okay.
The assistant, who has a name but again doesn't really matter, has intercepted the letters. She doesn't show them to the judge, so he isn't biased in the cases. So Judge Santiago doesn't know that this is happening. And Tyler begins investigating. He assumes at first that the culprit is someone who wants next to lose. After a quick search online, he finds the article that Julia wrote about Antonio's death. He reaches out to Julia, who tells him the culprit might want next to win, actually. Julia, go for it.
Is married now to Troy.
Yes, absolutely. You were correct.
Mm-hmm.
Julia gives him the name of Evan Dimitri, the shady megadonor we talked about last time. Tyler then tries to question Evan Dimitri, but Evan is evasive. Trying to prove himself, Tyler sends along copies of Matthew's letters. Evan becomes very defensive and leaves.
Do you think James Dobson had a board like this in his
Absolutely.
his study?
Yes. Oh, I don't know that he did. I think Kurt Brunner did.
That's true. This feels like a lot of Kurt's doing.
I do really think James Dobson I said this last time. I think James Dobson ranted and then Kurt wrote shit down and made it into a story.
He was like, and then what if there's a judge and then also a PI? And then Kurt Brunner was like, I'm on it. Okay.
Speaking of Julia, she is now married to Troy.
Great.
The budding relationship happened largely off screen.
Mm-hmm.
She now goes by Julia Simmons Davidson.
Oh, she hyphenated.
No hyphen. Just Julia Simmons, his last name, Davidson, her last name.
Oh.
I don't know why no hyphen.
That's very weird.
I spent a lot of time going back and forth whether to include that detail or not.
It's also not how that works. You do your last name and then the other person's, but...
When talking with Maria, her slut of a sister, about marriage,
Oh, no.
Julia says, quote, I seem to recall you saying that marital sex would put me to sleep. Trust me, you got that one wrong.
Ew!
Brace yourself, this book is hornier than the last one. It is a theme. It is a central theme to this book.
Oh my god. This was just an excuse for him to write smut. James Dobson.
Welcome to James Dobson Smut.
Oh my god, it's like A Court of Thorns and Roses, but what would it be?
Childless.
A Court of Weeping Orphans.
Julia's main arc here is embracing the idea of being a wife and becoming more comfortable with the idea of being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, listen, Troy, I want to give you children. I really do.
Give you.
But I can't imagine going that route. Making love is making love. We can do that here or anywhere you'd like. But making babies belongs in the clinic. I know you admire Kevin and Angie, but the thought of blind conception scares me.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to make your babies in the clinic. I forgot.
When comparing herself to a pregnant woman, quote, Julia felt her own tummy. Flat. Firm.
He didn't write tummy, did he?
Lifeless. He sure did.
He wrote tummy?
Yep. It describes it as flat, firm, and lifeless. I hate it. I hate it here.
I've run out of words.
There are many sex scenes between Julia and Troy, but it's revealed at one point that Troy is infertile. Julia never tells Troy this.
What do you mean?
Julia's the one who gets the news. They go to the doctor together, get tested, and the doctor calls Julia and lets her know. And then she just never tells it. It's specifically a point that she never shares this information with Troy.
Why?
We'll talk about it. For her work, Julia is still a journalist, albeit a freelance one. She is commissioned by her husband, Troy, and then also Kevin, to write a series of articles about bright spots and dark spots. Bright spots is an idea introduced last book by Congressman Kevin Tolbert. It refers to the areas of the country that are the most economically well off, bright spots, and also just happen to be places that have lots of kids and low rates of assisted suicide. Dark spots, by contrast, are places that are struggling economically, have few kids, and high rates of transitions. This series of articles is an attempt to convince the public of the necessity of Kevin's bright spots proposal, though done in kind of a sneaky way. Julia never considers disclosing to her readers that she is married to Kevin Tolbert's chief of staff, because who cares about conflicts of interest? Julia is a good Christian woman now. She knows plenty of people in bright spot areas, people who have a lot of kids and low transition rates. When she gives Tyler, our PI, information about Evan Dimitri, he gives her a contact in the dark spot. That guy's name is Austin Tozer. He has a partner named Gwen.
Austin Tozer.
This is how Austin Tozer is described. Quote, his thin torso and lean biceps lacked enough muscle tone to justify a tank top intended for less boyish forms. Side note, boyish is now used twice. Patches of auburn whiskers splashed a face that could have used a shave but couldn't produce a beard. At first glance, she assumed Austin was barely beyond adolescence, but his eyes and thinning hair said mid to late 30s, possibly older. He's described as immature.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, biologically, as then often relates to his character, he's a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
He and his long-term girlfriend, Gwen, have been together for 10 years, and they met in Dobson's least favorite place, in a video game.
Oh, uh-oh.
Quote, our abs were so hot together, we just had to take it to level 8, if you know what I mean.
Ew!
And that's not a thing anyone who's played a video game has ever said.
That is so dorky. That just gave me the biggest ick. Can you imagine video game people talking to each other like that?
I read that quote to boyfriend who plays a lot of video games, and he felt personally insulted.
Imagine saying that to someone you're playing. Let's take it to the next level.
Our abs were so hot together, we just had to take it to level 8, if you know what I mean. Austin and Gwen moved in with Austin's mom.
Uh-oh.
Austin said it's because his mom was sick and depressed. Really, it's because Gwen wanted to kill her.
This geriatric genocide that's going on is so wild.
Gwen pushes mom to volunteer to transition so they could get the house
that they're already living in.
Mm-hmm. But now they get to own it.
Okay.
Austin and Gwen are also childless by choice. Gwen has gotten pregnant twice, but when asked about those pregnancies, Austin says, we sold them. $2,000 each. The embryonic market is booming. Abortion is never mentioned in this book.
Uh-huh.
But very clearly, this is Dobson's dig at stem cell research. The idea of all of this innovation is being driven by the murder of innocent babies. Now, they are childless by choice, but Austin has an 11-year-old half-sister, Amanda.
From the mom that they're trying to kill?
Who is already dead. She has been killed, but yes.
She had an 11-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she wasn't that old.
No. Well, she was in her 50s, which is basically ancient.
That's not that old, you piece of shit. So the mom's like, sure, I'll die so that you can have my house and also
take care of your
this orphan weeps. Okay.
There's a quote that I didn't include where they are like, why not just move? And like, well, it would be really disruptive to Amanda. And Julia thinks to herself, but killing her mom wouldn't be. The character motivations don't make sense. Amanda hates Austin and Gwen and blames them for killing her mom.
Well, sure.
Which is fair. And she says it like that. She talks about, like, everyone uses all these euphemisms about transitioning or volunteering. Amanda says, you killed mom.
Okay.
Austin and Amanda clearly have no love for each other. Amanda has even considered calling Child Protective Services just so she can live with a foster family. She doesn't really quite understand what that means. She calls them the foster family, like a capital F, like it's the last name of somebody. But she wants out of there.
Okay.
We don't really hear about Julia actually publishing any articles about the dark spots, but that's not what her character is about anymore. Like, she is technically a journalist, but really her character arc is wanting to be a mom.
Yeah, that's not her real job anymore, is it?
What about our guy Matthew?
Yeah, what happened to Matthew?
Having just killed his mom, he attempts to return to school. However, because of the pending wrongful death lawsuit, all of Next transition stuff is frozen. All of the assets, his entire inheritance is frozen. He can't access it until the court sides with Next. After one semester of college, Matthew goes on a break to make money. He becomes an at-home caretaker for an elderly man.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not a good idea.
The guy's name is Hugh Gale.
There's a lot of elderly people in peril in this.
There sure are. Hugh Gale demands to be called Reverend Grandpa.
You are making this whole thing up.
And the entire book, he calls him Reverend Grandpa. We'll talk about what happens to him, what his fate is. You'll be shocked to hear it's not great. But in this really dramatic, tragic scene, just remember he goes by Reverend Grandpa. We'll get to his arc, but in general, you can kind of assume that anytime an old person is mentioned, they're probably going to die.
Yeah.
He goes by Reverend Grandpa because he used to be a Baptist preacher. He had been in an assisted living facility, but he's kicked out for preaching too much. Also because he pulled the fire alarm as a training exercise for the rapture.
What?
Reverend Grandpa.
But what do you... Don't just look at me with your head tilted and say Reverend Grandpa. How would that be a training for the rapture?
Because you never know when it's going to be, and you got to be prepared, and people were sleeping or whatever, and all of a sudden all this commotion's going on, just like the rapture.
You know what you definitely don't need to be that prepared for? If I understand the rapture correctly, is the rapture.
This is how the book describes Mr. Gale. Quote, Hugh Gale looked more like a recently retired trucker than the death-courting skeleton Matthew had imagined. His arms were particularly impressive, suggesting Hugh Gale had lifted weights earlier in his life. It wasn't until Matthew repositioned himself in front of the man's seat that he noticed signs of disability, mechanical braces on his legs, and a tiny oxygen tube protruding from his lower neck. The physical descriptions of men in this are fascinating.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Austin Tozer, skinny little bitch. Reverend Grandpa, sure, he's disabled, but he's big, thick trucker.
Yeah.
This job is fine enough. Reverend Grandpa doesn't like asking for help, and primarily just needs Matthew to change his oxygen tanks every so often.
Uh-oh.
Matthew reaches out to his longtime crush, Maria Davidson, Julia Simmons Davidson's sister. He does so anonymously at first, signing his messages A Manichaean. Again, mystery has been solved. We're like 3 chapters into the book. We know who done it. But quickly, he forgoes that and gives his real name. She agrees to go on a date. It goes fine. She agrees to go on a second date.
Oh, because she's a slut.
Because she's a slut.
Mm-hmm.
The second date does not go well.
Uh-oh.
In part, Maria's son, Jared, was there.
On the date?
On the date. And he is a fucking cockblock. It's later revealed that he told Maria that he got bad vibes from Matthew, and because of that, Maria cuts it off. Also, Matthew gives Maria a really weird gift, a picture of them in high school. They weren't friends in high school, so it was just like a picture where they happen to be in the same room, and that's when Maria realizes, like, this guy's kind of obsessed with me. So Matthew's a creep, cuts things off.
How old is Maria's son?
Like 11.
Okay.
Reverend Grandpa and Matthew debate Manichaeism so many times, and it
no.
doesn't matter. And I feel bad even bringing it up, except it's so relevant to the plot. But they argue about it. In a particularly heated moment, when Matthew mentions that his mom transitioned, Reverend Grandpa says, "Your mom committed suicide, Matthew. No matter how much you try to dress it up as a heroic act, it was taking the most precious gift God gives us. Not to mention adding another coffin on the bonfire of human dignity."
Whoa.
Yeah, that's tough. This argument, plus Maria's rejection, causes a fit of rage that inspires Matthew to write another threatening letter to the judge.
Oh.
So he is the one writing the letters. We are now caught up with the prologue. The judge's wife calls the cops after receiving this letter. Tyler and Greg Smith continue to investigate. Tyler realizes a Manichaean isn't a name, it's a title, like a sports fan. He reaches out.
I mean, duh. I realized that immediately.
I have a lot of thoughts about the writing of this book. Tyler reaches out after some Googling to a person who knows a lot about Manichaeism, Dr. Thomas Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
Who happened to be Matthew's college professor we talked about last time. Very quickly, Dr. Vincent puts the pieces together and passes along Matthew's name. At the same time, Julia and Maria are talking to each other. Maria mentions the dates with Matthew, and that Matthew wrote a letter using a weird fake name. Julia, having talked to Tyler about the case a little bit, connects the dots and calls Tyler. So, if you're keeping track, the mystery has now been solved 4 times. Once at the very start by citing it a Manichaean, and we all know. Then when we see Matthew writing these letters. Then when both Tyler and Julia put the pieces together on their own in separate chapters. Tyler convinces Maria. Oh, I should put a string between them.
What does he convince Maria of? She should call the police.
He's the former police.
Oh, Tyler. I thought you meant Matthew. Sorry. Good thing I have this map with all these strings.
Yes. Tyler convinces Maria to reach out once more to Matthew.
No, that's a bad idea.
To be bait and go on another date with him. She agrees. In this honeypot, Matthew is eventually arrested by Tyler.
Why does he have to go on a date with her for that to happen?
I don't know. Like, it's not like she asks to see a Manichaean. I don't know why they couldn't just arrest him. That's a really good point, actually. Again, this is a totally visual bit. This is just for you.
I love it. And for the Patreon.
Tyler takes Matthew back to the station for questioning. Eventually, Tyler's convinced that Matthew is generally harmless. He's not really at flight risk. So Tyler tells him to go home, talk to a lawyer, and wait for the police.
Okay, that's not really how we use bait.
No.
Because now she's in a lot of danger.
But he's harmless.
Mm-hmm.
A thing that Tyler does a number of times is look into people's eyes to tell the truth. So he looks into Matthew's eyes.
Oh my God, I hate that. I can just tell.
Mm-hmm. That night, Victor Santiago doesn't come home.
Uh-oh.
Rebecca and a cop go to the courthouse where they find him dead, killed by lethal injection. They find the pouch of potassipass next to him.
Perimenopause.
Matthew is arrested for the murder, but Tyler knows Matthew didn't do it. Tyler was arresting Matthew at the time of the murder.
Uh-oh.
Plot twist, Brooke. If it's not Matthew, who could it be?
Evan.
Who is the only bad person that's on here otherwise? Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I just did. I just looked at the whole board and I was like, Evan.
Yeah. Evan Dimitri hired someone to murder Judge Santiago and also write the most threatening letter so that it would be pinned on Matthew Adams. Literally the only other bad guy on here.
Either Evan or Leah, the autistic baby.
Oh, I should mention Kevin and Angie had their kid.
Oh.
His name is Ricky.
Oh.
Also not really a character, but he's on the board. In the end, Evan is not caught, but Matthew isn't thrown in jail either. To wrap up this mystery, Tyler realizes that he loves Renee.
Who's Renee?
His girlfriend.
Oh.
Again, she's such not a character. She doesn't get a spot on the board. This is the conversation that they have when Tyler realizes that he loves her. Tell me if this rings a bell. I need you to understand something, Renee said a few days before. My parents are my priority right now. I mean, I love you, I want you, but they're my flesh and blood. With a single gutsy declaration, Renee had transformed herself from a weak, clingy lover to something else. Something better. She'd made a choice to do what was right by her folks, even if it meant losing a man she loved. Losing him. Rather than pushing Tyler away, the resolve had drawn him towards her like nails to a magnet. He knew that Renee loved him, but he also realized that she didn't need him. That subtle change made her someone he wanted to pursue rather than flee, someone strong enough to expect him to do what was right, to become his best. A woman who deserved better than she'd received. Better perhaps than he could possibly give. For the first time in a while, Tyler felt lucky to have her in his life. Possibly because he realized he'd almost driven her out of it.
Okay, Tyler is a dick.
Uh-huh.
And that is the plot of, what is that book called about marriage?
Love Must Be Tough.
Love Must Be Tough.
It is exactly the thesis.
That's
of
Love Must Be Tough.
Yes. Like verbatim. This is what I mean when I say, like, I feel like James Dobson just kind of ranted and then Kurt Brunner, like, made it into a thing. After that conversation, Tyler proposes.
Well, she should say no, because he's really a piece of crap.
She says yes and live happily ever after. Matthew Adams hates everyone. And another fight with Reverend Grandpa, Matthew is fired. As he's packing to leave, Reverend Grandpa runs out of oxygen. And Matthew Adams makes the conscious decision to let him die.
Even after killing his mom and crying like an orphan?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
so
boy.
Matthew Adams' body count is now 2, potentially 3, depending how you feel about putting Victor on that list. The last line about him in this book, Matthew Adams hated God.
Okay.
Julia and Troy talk to Austin about adopting Amanda, his 11-year-old half-sister. While he's resistant at first, Julia brings some blackmail. You see, when doing some research, Tyler Kane found that Austin, quote, subscribes to several rather graphic pornographic services. Your preference includes early adolescent girls, and you've selected hair and body styles remarkably similar to Amanda's.
Ew. Oh, God.
Austin gives up quickly after.
Ew.
The book ends with Julia and Troy adopting Amanda, becoming a family and fulfilling their biological destinies. Kind of. Technically, Amanda has not met Troy when she chooses to be adopted by them.
Oh, God.
She's seen pictures of him and he's waiting in the car, but it's Julia who has the conversation.
He's waiting in the car.
Yes. We don't actually get to see the first time that Troy and Amanda meet.
You know who else could have maybe raised Amanda? Her mom.
Before she was murdered? I don't really understand why the mom killed herself. Like, they say Gwen coerced her into it, but she was like, I think canonically like 54.
Was she sick?
No, like she was kind of depressed, but like not really. Once they, in book 1, take great pains to establish how predatory the transition industry is, they don't really engage with the topic much more.
Also, this is how adoption works. You just find a Lucy.
There is a conversation earlier about, like, what about IVS? Or what about a sperm donor? And what about adoption? And they really don't explain it, but apparently there's like a 5-year wait list to adopt any kid, I guess because they're in such short supply.
Okay.
So I don't really know why I guess because
Troy still doesn't know that
he's infertile?
Yeah.
Nope. It is specifically pointed out that in this conversation with Austin, Julia says we're infertile or our infertility.
This is so dumb. Okay.
The end.
No, what?
Yes.
What do you...
The mystery solved.
What
Matthew
mystery?
Evan did it. Who killed the judge?
We know who killed the judge. What?
Matthew/Evan did it.
Right, of course. They're the only bad guys.
So this is a really bad book.
What?
It doesn't work as a book. A lot of the same issues exist from the last book. The character motivations don't make sense. So many things happen because plot and not because of any kind of like natural motivation. They clearly wrote this book with the end in mind and had to like fill in the details in the middle. It also like doesn't work as a mystery. Not only is it solved so many times, Dobson has such a black and white worldview that there's only 2 bad guys. And they both did it! When Matthew's revealed to be innocent of murder, there's literally one other option. Now, there is literary irony, which is when the audience knows something that the characters don't.
Oh, we're not smart enough to be doing all that.
A better writer could have used the setup as a kind of irony, but Dobson is so bad at this and doesn't trust his audience to pick up on clues that he has to spell it out for you, right? Matthew is like, oh, he was being interviewed by Tyler at the time of the crime. He couldn't have done it. And then there's a chapter from Evan's POV, who's basically like, I'm an evil man. Did you kill that guy? I want to make sure that he's dead. It's me. I'm like, he spells it out. In my story graph review of this book, because I reviewed this one too, I said this book makes Blue's Clues look like the final boss of a Sherlock Holmes story.
I love that Evan, first of all, I love that he's such an evil villain and his name's Evan. But I love that Evan is such a mustache twirler. Like, I'm the villain. Of course he did it. He did it in the last book.
Yes. Just wait till you see his fate in book 3.
Oh, I wonder what will happen to Evan.
In Fatherless, Julia was far and away the main character. Over half of the chapters were from her POV. The rest of the chapters are split evenly between Kevin, Angie, and Matthew. This time around, the point of view is much more evenly split. Just over a third of the book is from Tyler's POV,
Mm-hmm.
followed by Matthew at 27% and Julia at 25%. It's really notable to me that once Julia became a wife, there wasn't a whole lot more for her to do.
Mm-hmm.
The only time we get to see any hint of her career, even before she has a kid, is in the service of her husband, and really then only in the service of the plot. It's almost proving Dobson's strawman argument correct, that the only thing evangelicals see women for is to be a subservient baby-making factory.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's Julia's whole character arc here. And once she does that, she becomes not a person, not a character. Okay, so talk about themes. I mentioned this, but this is the horniest book of the series.
Yeah.
And I didn't give you all the examples. There is a lot, and it's for a reason. Partly, Dobson is trying to push back on this idea that sex dies in marriage. It's a trope that he thinks is unfair and wants to prove that actually the best sex is the kind that you have when you are married.
The only sex.
And he takes great pains and mentions it over and over and over again. In fact, in the author's note, this is how Dobson introduces the book. In Fatherless, we explored one of the causes: men neglecting honor and responsibilities of paternity. In Childless, we'll ask what happens when sex is severed from the life-giving joys of maternity. Be forewarned, such questions require depicting the ugly realities that come when we disregard the beauty and sanctity of the marriage bed. So not only is the best kind of sex you have the kind when you're married, the best kind of sex is the kind that you have when you're married, specifically when you want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really gross bioessentialism here. You live to reproduce, and then only in the confines of marriage. But don't worry, since that's your purpose, you'll love it. It'll feel so good, better than any other sex that you will have. We talked about this a little bit last time, but the idea that all women want to have kids, secretly desire to be a mother, and also know that, and if they don't believe that, they're lying to themselves, is so fucking clear here.
Well, it's also, women can't want to have sex for the purpose of sex.
Mm-hmm.
They have to want to have sex for the purpose of having a baby.
I mean, they can have sex with the person wanting to have sex. They're sexual creatures. But they feel the most fulfilled.
Right. Because we don't want to be Marias. In her elegant plaid knee-length skirt and her alluring necktie blouse.
But again, remember, Angie gets lingerie in book 1.
I know, that's true.
They are sexual creatures. Do you want to read another horny passage, or do you want me to?
Oh, I want to.
Okay.
Who is this again?
This is Julia talking about her sex with Troy. Or having sex with Troy, perhaps.
Okay. Ugh. Just remember, this is written by Dobby. She sensed his anxiety ease at her touch. She moved in closer, teasing his lips with her own. I think they were teasing lips in the last book, too. The man who discovered bright spots in an environment everyone saw as a dark, mucky swamp? She wrapped both arms around Troy's neck while sliding from her side of the sofa onto his lap. She began nibbling his earlobe. The man who brightens my life every day, and she tasted his upper neck. What is with upper neck and lower neck?
And ears, like this whole region. Like, they're erogenous zones, sure.
Yeah, but upper neck and lower
He's
neck.
real fascinated with it.
Oh my god, mouth to breast. The man with whom I plan to join the Bright Spots movement. They kissed deeply for several seconds. The time of everything is funny. Then Troy pulled his head back to look Julia in the eyes. Wait, what did you just say? A sly grin followed by a fierce nod. We do that. We don't want to do it. So you want to? Now? Not in a few years? Now, she said eagerly, recalling Angie's description of pregnancy and motherhood. Oh yeah, just what everyone's thinking about when they're starting to, oh my God. It was like leaning over the railing at Niagara Falls. It's not how Niagara Falls works. The fear overwhelmed by the wonder. Her husband's fingers slid inside her.
That wasn't what it said.
Just kidding. I just wanted to freak everyone out. Her husband's fingers slid around her torso. Just his fingers. Slid around her torso. Her body tingled with anticipation. Julia knew she was about to enjoy the first unprotected sex of her life. Ew. And it surprised her to realize nothing had ever made her feel so safe. We're gonna haunt me. James Dobson writing sex scenes in smut novels.
So I want you to know.
What is this?
That I read these books. I have the physical books here. So to put it into the script, I have to go back through the books and physically type them in. And me writing this, there are other sex scenes that I wrote that I didn't include. Me writing James Dobson sex scenes is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. Another quote, less sensual. Quote, Julia would have never imagined herself going on a date with a man like Troy, let alone accepting his hand in marriage. Marriage itself, she had believed, was an archaic institution. What a difference a year can make. Here she was, now planning an intimate evening with a man she'd never intended to marry, hoping to conceive a child she'd never wanted to have. Or so she had thought. Apparently, our deepest desires eventually trump our most persuasive objections.
Okay.
There's also a really weird anti-IVF message. Now, I say IVF, they talk specifically about IVS. So we're talking in vitro fertilization versus in vitro selection, which is in real life a meaningful difference. But again, this is a very 2010s kind of critique. Dobson's very clearly writing about IVF and how he views it as bad and immoral because it separates the pleasure of sex from the joy of conception.
But this is an interesting take because maybe not IVF, but IVS or whatever they're calling it, feels like it would actually be such a mega Trumpy value. Like
oh, it is.
We can make all the perfect babies.
In episode 1, I said it feels like Elon Musk. Elon Musk has specifically selected his kids to be boys. He's gone through a version of this. It's also why he hates his daughter so much. His daughter is trans. And he's like, but I selected you to be a boy.
Does Elon Musk not have any daughters except for the trans daughter?
Editing Jake here. Talking about Elon Musk's kids is a weird and messy topic. And truly, we don't know all the details. We know that he has at least 14 kids. And we know at least 10 of them are boys. There are 2 who we know of as girls. 1 cis and 1 trans. My claim here that Musk is using IVF to select for the sex of his children comes from Vivian Wilson, one of his 2 known daughters, who claimed, quote, my assigned sex at birth was a commodity that was bought and paid for. So when I was feminine as a child and then turned out to be transgender, I was going against the product that was sold. I've mentioned him a few times in the series because he both fits into and is in opposition to Dobson views in these books. For instance, Musk tweeted in 2022, quote, Doing my best to help the underpopulation crisis. A collapsing birth rate is the biggest danger civilization faces by far. A tweet very of this book. Dobson critiques this embryonic selection, though, but given the alliance between techno-fascists and Christo-fascists, those differences seem to be able to be put aside to oppress us undesirables. Okay, that aside, back to the real point of the show. Dobson clearly does not like fiscal conservatives either, people who try to separate like austerity from morality. A lot of the politicians that Kevin Tolbert, who does not feature in this one really at all, a lot of the people that he's feuding with he's a Republican, they're all Republicans, but the people who dislike him are the ones who are fiscal conservatives, but like aren't moral about it. So I think Dobson would critique Elon Musk for those same things. But also, as we talked about last time, in practice, he doesn't care, really. Mm-hmm. That's not what he spends his time fighting against.
Right.
Saying that, quote, sex is severed from the life-giving joys of maternity is an anti-IVF message. At one point, Julia goes to a fertility clinic, and the whole chapter is full of her observations about how weird and ungodly the process is. For instance, quote, it felt unseemly standing in the same spot where her husband had donated half the required ingredients, as if they were two workers on an assembly line rather than participants in an intimate one-flesh union.
Oh, God. Ew, a one-flesh union?
Mm-hmm. Again, they never mention abortion in these books, something I find fascinating, but they really emphasize the idea of fetal personhood, that life begins at conception.
Mm.
The idea that Austin and Gwen give their discarded embryonic material is seen as, like, horrible. At the clinic, Julie asks what happens to the embryos she doesn't pick, and she's aghast when they are disposed of or sold, a more clinical version of Austin's girlfriends getting pregnant twice. For more about natalism specifically, check out the incredible podcast Ill Conceived, co-hosted by friend of the show Josh Borman. I used actually a lot of their information in doing research for these episodes. There are interesting nuanced conversations about things like genetic selection and the idea of curing and or preventing disabilities, right? If we knew that this embryo had a higher chance of developing Down syndrome or going blind or having cancer, what is it ethical to then not pick that one? That's a really interesting, complicated question that I don't have answers to, and I don't think there are answers to.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea that Dobson raises, gestures kind of vaguely to, spouts nonsense about the dignity of human life with no real-world action, and then just kind of leaves it there. If you actually engage with the book, that's kind of his move with most things. He raises some really fucking controversial hot-button issue, gives some nice-sounding but meaningless platitude about it, and then does nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like how Maria was a slut because she got molested. That is never brought up again. Nothing is done with that piece of information. She was a side character in book 1. She's basically not a character in book 2. Or the fact that Austin apparently watches child sexual abuse material. It's not that he has an interest in models who look like adolescent girls, which is complicated and moral and bad in its own way. It's that the porn he watches has early adolescent girls in it. Does that mean in this world, child sexual abuse material is legalized? What does it mean? It's just brought up this one time to defame this one character and then never touched again.
Well, it's also like it's designed so that you don't have any question about taking this child out of her what is still biological family, right? And it's like, well, she absolutely can't be there, right?
Sure.
So we have to give him something really bad.
And it makes sense in that way for the plot.
Right.
But this book isn't a plot book. He's supposed to be some kind of like observation and discussion about what happens when Dobson's view of this world comes to pass, but they don't engage with it in that way.
No, he's doing too much.
He's doing so much. If you could see this board right now. While book 1 is called Fatherless, I find that this book has a lot more depictions around masculinity and Dobson's ideas of it. Women have to go out of their way to make men feel important and not hurt their ego. Talk about the infertility arc. I think that's a big part of it. Also from Julia, quote, while Troy had often said how proud he was of her and her journalistic resurgence, she also feared it spawned other feelings. Her rising notoriety highlighted his descent into obscurity. He had done the right thing by voluntarily leaving the circle of power to mind the shop. Side plot, he goes to tend the businesses that he and Troy had set up. Such things could emasculate even the strongest male ego. Again, she never tells him about being infertile because Who cares that it's withholding medical information about him? She doesn't want to hurt his feelings. Julia and Angie talk about what it's like to be married, and Angie says that Kevin is dependent on her for his feeling of confidence. Quote, all men almost always feel inadequate. While brokering business deals, when walking the halls of Congress, my husband appears to be bold and self-assured. And he is, as long as he knows that I respect him. But one look of disappointment or word of criticism from me, and he becomes a different man. A smaller man.
This is scolding again, right?
Yes.
This is like Dobson's wet dream of what women should be and how they should behave, and the umbrella and the hierarchy and all this shit again.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Dobson's not at all subtle lecture to women about how to behave.
Yes.
Look how the strings are making a pentagon.
I saw, actually. Former feminist Julia still has some feminism in her, and so she at one point feels really upset that why does Kevin get to go make all the laws and you have to stay at home? Julia felt a similar sense of indignation. So we're supposed to stand on the sidelines wearing cheerleader outfits so they can win the big games? Is that it? Angie smiled disarmingly. Something like that. But I hope you wear something racier than a cheerleader outfit now that you're married, she added with a mischievous wink.
Ew!
The fundamental idea, Dobson's idea of gender relations, is that men become good when women admire and depend on them. Dependence is a big part of this. It fulfills their biological nature. Men need to be respected. Women need to be loved. And that is an idea that comes up a ton in evangelical marriage advice. That is men's fundamental need is to be respected. Women's fundamental need is to be loved. Those are fundamentally different concepts that do not translate to each other. And it just so happened to put men in positions of power and keep women powerless and can't open credit cards and are subject to marital rape and whatever. But like, it's really a biological need.
I love that he wrote novels with detectives and characters and all this stuff, and we are somehow still talking about the same dumb shit we've been talking about forever.
So one of my specialties in therapy is working with non-traditional relational systems. In part, that means I work with dom-sub relationships. There are ways to have a relationship fairly and safely built on ideas of power exchange, where one person does make the decisions, or more of them, and one person is a little bit more subservient. Sometimes in a relationship, there's a star and there's a supporter. That can be fine in theory. But again, the issue with Dobson's approach here is the expectation of it, the idealization of it, and the demonization of anyone who tries to break out of these rigid roles. Again, it's not that Julia changed her mind about feminism. It's that Julia realized that that wasn't what she actually wanted. Submissives in a dom-sub relationship still have personal autonomy. They can call a safe word. They can leave. And for so many reasons and for so long, women couldn't. For a guy who had so much to say about how coercion is evil in the transition industry, he doesn't want to look inward about that or apply that to any other part of his worldview. We also have Dobson's ideas of bad masculinity. Austin is a pussy. You can tell because he plays video games. He lets his girlfriend make decisions, including killing his mom.
And he has skinny arms.
He has skinny arms and he watches porn.
And he killed his mom.
Matthew is the ultimate beta cuck. He doesn't protect anyone. He hurts those who depend on him. He treats women like objects. As we talked about last time, my fundamental disagreement with Dobson is both subtle and substantial. We do need each other, but the basis of society is community, not this random arbitrary nuclear family. Matthew's fundamental flaw isn't that he doesn't have a wife or someone to depend on him. It's that he's not connected to anyone in any real meaningful way. He's always hiding from others, pretending to be something he's not. Even in the conversations with Dr. Thomas Vincent, he gives half-truths. He never says that he wants his mom to transition. Connection, not dependence, gives us meaning. Or it's at least one thing that can give us meaning. A lot of things can give us meaning. This has been brought up a couple times, but good characters quote James Dobson for their motivation. We talked about how one of the motivations is for Tyler, and why he realizes that he loves Renee, is literally just love must be tough. Mm-hmm. That is the entire, like, that's...
I'm surprised no one says, as James Dobson once said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin also says this in this book, Parenthood compels different choices than you would otherwise make. Dad takes extra shifts and second jobs. Moms cut coupons and launch home-based businesses. Grandparents buy birthday presents and watch grandkids, providing cheaper and better childcare while giving them something better to do than rot away in retirement villages. That is almost verbatim a quote from the first book, let alone James Dobson said. He literally is recycling his own material multiple times in the same series.
I was going to say, I thought we just talked about
We
that.
did! We sure did!
God.
Here, though, Dobson takes it a step further. When talking about his autistic kid, quote, "My love for Leah will motivate me to do everything I can to grow that business. And if that business grows, it will hire more workers. And if we hire more workers, well, you know the rest." Ladies and gentlemen, when we encourage bright spots, we tap into the most powerful natural resource on the planet. Families, not governments or businesses, motivate hard work and innovation, frugality and investment. They can also provide the social safety net government can no longer afford. These books are fundamentally anti-government. Dobson hates Social Security, as many conservatives do. He thinks it's the government stepping into things that they have no reason to do, like helping people, because it undermines the point of the family. And conversely, if people aren't motivated to help, low-key, they kind of deserve to suffer, right? It is this deep individual responsibility. The government doesn't need to help people. It's the family's job. Stay the fuck out of it. As with every other piece of Dobson media, the main theme throughout this book and this entire series is, I'm right. I did not like this book either.
What?
I also gave it half a star on Storygraph. Book 1 postulates that society collapses without fathers. Book 2 focuses on the impact of society without moms. Spoilers, but next time we'll be talking about the third and final book, how society falls apart without God. Tune in next time to hear Dobson badly tries to wrap up the series, and how he doesn't wrap anything up, how both his morals and his writing just fall to shit every time. I hate James Dobson.
Wait, I have a prediction to make of the third book. You
Cool.
don't have to tell me anything, but
Yeah.
just tell me one thing.
Mm-hmm.
How far in the future are we in the third book?
Also, like, roughly a year.
Oh, just a year. Okay.
It's pretty close in time. I'd have to check again, but it's pretty close.
I thought maybe it would be Amanda grown up and dealing with her own stuff.
Nope.
Nope, just the
Good
same.
idea. That'd be really interesting. Wow. Brooke, that's an incredible idea for a book that Dobson did not write.
I hope it's more about Maria's short skirts.
I don't know that Maria's in the third book at all.
No, we already got all we need out of Maria.
I do know Julia's not really in the next book at all.
No, because she disappears into motherhood.
Yes.
All right. Well, that sucked, and I hate James Dobson, but I actually do love this bulletin board that you've made for me here.
I'm keeping this for book 3.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. And good night, Reverend Grandpa.
R.I.P. Reverend Grandpa, a real one. Not a real one. Fuck that guy. My note is I hate James Dobson and his little books too.
Also, take a writing class.
A huge thank you to all of our patrons who support us at patreon.com/IHateJamesDobson, but especially our certified haters who would absolutely write a better novel than this, which is both a compliment and also such a low bar, but I say it with love. Huge thank you to Aaron H., Abigail W.S., Amber, Ben, Betsy C., Brenda, aka Wrong Brenda, Bunny with a Switchblade, Kaylee Ann, Cardamon, Chad S., Crystalline, Christina R., Des, Drew, L., Jerry L., Hannah B., Hannah L., Hannah S., Helly R., Jamie B., Jared B., Jen F., Jenna KD, Jennifer A., Joanna, Julie Beth of Tarth, Justin, Cami, Carissa, Katie M., Christopher W., Lindsay, Lindsay D., Lyra S., Mara N., Margaret H., Megan, Melody B., Melody S., MJ Russell 221B, Nate is Great 148, Peter H., Rachel H., Ravio 717, Sawyer N., Sean L., Spruce, Stacy, The Worst of All Possible Worlds, Theo, Timothy D.N., Tor W., Trisha W., Tyler M., Unwritten Page, Vigilante Librarian, Winter Goodfox, and Ray. I don't want to read fiction anymore.
There is good fiction.
I don't want to read books anymore.
No.
I don't want to be anymore.
Okay. This is a real second episode of the night, everyone. Don't worry. I'll make
Call
sure.
me Reverend Grandpa.
I'll make sure Jake doesn't take the Ponapanapas. And
Patassipass.
I'll make sure Jake doesn't take the Patassipass.
Where's Evan Dimitri when you need him? Oh my god.
Evan Dimitri.
I Hate James Dobson is a product of Red House Media and is a labor of love, spite, written, recorded, edited, and produced by me, Jake. I'm honored to be joined on this journey by my amazing co-host, Brooke. If you're enjoying the show, please consider rating and reviewing it. And if you want to connect with us more, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/IHateJamesDobson. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Reddit, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Facebook at I Hate James Dobson. You can email us at IHateJamesDobson@gmail.com. We have merch available at IHateJamesDobson.printful.me, or, if all of that's too much, simply go to IHateJamesDobson.com to find everything about the show. Our theme music is by Moonbase, and the song is called Trendsetter. Special thanks, as always, to Drew, Lindsay, DJ, Jack, Gary, and Karina. And thank you, reader, for enjoying our show.